We are back with my first video for the mini expansion that just got released like yesterday for me, maybe it's today for some of you. Anyway, the tradition for me of course is to go for playing sword right from the get-go. So we got Roland, we got sword, which is like worse. That Durandal is definitely worse now. It doesn't really do anything currently. And then you have this effect, which is more useful actually, the fanfare effect to just destroy follower, heal 3, then you draw 2 cards, recover 4 fate points. That part is actually really useful. The evil effect not so much. But anyway, this is sort of a weird neutral control list that I put together on day 1. The idea is just to get 5 evils by turn 6 and then play Roland and then play Wise. Then hide Wise behind Roland and hopefully they can't clear that. And other than that, it's just a control deck. It's not... it's definitely a work in progress there. I wouldn't say it's good like at all, but I managed to have some good games with it, so I thought I'd just show you a few good games I had on day 1 with this deck. I'm still working on the list, so maybe it'll be better in the future, but yeah. Let's just jump into the games. So for game 1, we have a game against Dragon and we are going second. With the current list that I'm running, going second is definitely favored over going first. When you're going second, I kept the Troya here because Troya is great going second, just to be able to evolve before your evil turn on turn 3, which will help you get to 5 evils on turn 6 more effectively. And I kept Oceanus for 2 reasons. First of all, for the turn 2 play, Oceanus is not too bad. And also, keeping a neutral card helps make Troya's evil more reliable. We still don't know what dragon this is yet, so we're gonna draw cards here. Here we have 2 sword and 2 neutral followers in our hand, so Troya is active, and they played the Lucky Mermaid, so this is definitely buff dragon. We need to contest the board here because they can run away with the game if we don't, so we're gonna go ahead and play the Oceanus here just to give them either a trade target or I can trade into them next turn. And they play the Grand Slam, but thankfully the Grand Slam is not buff, so there's no Hellflame Dragon to contend with, so we can go ahead and trade. And then we can keep our follower. They can probably clear this, but like at least they have to clear it, right? So they go ahead and dump out 2 Dions here, so they have a lot of buffs right now. No Charlemagne in hand, unfortunately, but with the way this list is built, Charlemagne is actually not even like that necessary. So I went with Troya here instead of Charlemagne because if I evolve Charlemagne here, there's nothing I can do with the 1 PP left anyway, so I might as well just play Troya and just evolve Charlemagne next turn instead. So they play the Heaven Scale Dragon, like just draw the cards back there. But then we can just use Charlemagne here. So we're just gonna evolve the Charlemagne to get the leader effect. Honestly, the trading effect is like the main reason why I feel like I run Charlemagne. I picked the Draw of Kindness here because once their followers' health start getting really high, the what's it called? The other spell, the Destruction spell, isn't as helpful anymore. So Draw of Kindness here will help me heal off damage so I can keep myself healthy to prevent them from bursting me down with Joe. So they have the Grand Slam into the Striker, which is not great for me, obviously. If you look at my evolve count now, I am at 5, so I'm able to play the Roland here for value. Unfortunately, don't pick up the Wise here, so we have to do without it. Go ahead and use that trait. Since I don't really have anything to do, I just decided to summon the Durandal here. As I said, Durandal is fairly useless generally against most decks. Against Buff Dragon, it's like Coral Spirit, and that's about it. And that's only if you don't have Wise on board, but since I don't have Wise, the Coral Spirit might actually be decent, so we're just gonna summon Durandal to hopefully do that. And we just buff the Roland up. Mostly I played that to just draw a card. The buff isn't super consequential. So there's Terminus Dragon, the 1 new card that Buff Dragon got, I guess. It's a very... my opinion is it's a very strong card. So thankfully the Roland forced them to trade because he has at 5 health, so I guess that was beneficial for me. We're gonna go ahead and play another Roland, try to draw Wise again. Still no Wise, unfortunately. So yeah, definitely Charlemagne, playing Charlemagne here, I think I just did it for the Evo since like I can Evo her for free. And then I just traded into the Mega Lorca here just to reduce the health to make it a bit harder for them to play Joe. Because if you can play Joe, they can just play Joe, right? But might as well. So there's the Joe. And then we're gonna take a huge ton of damage here. We are very low, but we're not dead yet, fortunately. So we milled the Wise there, but as you can see, I'm at like what, 15 cards left. I was fairly confident I would just draw Wise off this Roland here, and thankfully I did. So we're gonna go ahead and just play the Wise and evolve it. The Wise can't be targeted, so they shouldn't have a way to clear this unless they play the 9 PP spell, but like that's such a bad turn for them if they do it, so yeah. So they evolved the Mega Lorca Rider here, which is always good for me. Happy to see that, and then they played the Worm crafting. And then pick Draziel here. Of course, Draziel's Fanfare will not activate, so it's just like a big ward for them. And they're gonna go ahead and trade and try to get through my followers. So, we don't have lethal here because we are playing a control deck, unfortunately. Actually, I think I might have had lethal. Yeah, actually I am. If I played Blooming Dancer here, evolved Roland, when faced with Alice, that would be lethal, but I guess I missed it, right? Because I'm at 7. Yeah, I'm definitely have enough evils. Yeah, I had lethal here, but I guess I missed it, so I just went for Galdr here. Just to make my bot sturdy, protect the Wise. After this, they should definitely have a lot of trouble protecting the Wise. Then I evolve the Deadeye Trainee over the Galdr here just to spread stats around. Normally the issue is spreading stats around. If your opponent has like some like AoE removal, it might be bad, like Draziel for example, but since they have no Draziel, I think spreading the stats around is a bit more helpful. So my Wise is definitely very sturdy now, so is this Roland. Of course they can still clear it. There's another Joe which will clear my Wise and my Trainee. Oh wait, it won't because I forgot about Fanfare being blocked, so yeah. They get one sturdy ward, but unfortunately for them, it just goes down to my board, so that's it for this game. Let's move on to the next one. Our next game will be against Portal, and we are going second here. I have won some games going first, but as I said before, this deck right now with the list I'm currently running is much more favored going second. I'm trying to fix it up so it's better going first, but yeah, it's still work in progress, so yeah. So we keep the Twofold Grace because Twofold Grace is very, very strong, like in general. I think Twofold Grace is a definite like guaranteed keep with this deck. And then pick up Troya is nice to hopefully try to draw Charlemagne, but we just draw the Charlemagne naturally instead, which is also fine. So they are playing the Holy Biker, so this is definitely Artifact. And we're gonna go ahead and play the Twofold Grace here. Here we need to clear the board, so we're just gonna pick Tsukuyomi. It's also worth noting that going second, if you get Tsukuyomi, then you can do weird things like hiding Wise behind a Amaterasu on turn 4. Of course, it's kind of a high roll, so it's not super reliable. We're gonna go ahead and play the Troya here to draw a leader and draw a commander and also evolve. If I picked up the Wise there, it might have been possible to hide Wise behind a ward, which might have made life very difficult for them, but no such luck unfortunately, so yeah. They are just adding things in the deck. I haven't seen A-Gil yet, so we don't know if they have it yet. Hopefully they don't. So if we pick up the Day here, we're just gonna play the Day. Even if we went for Charlemagne, we don't really have like any evil benefit we can get out of the Charlemagne. So I went to play the what's it called? Evan. I definitely probably shouldn't have played the Evan there. I probably should have held onto it and just evolved the Amaterasu trader and called it a day. But sorry, pun not intended, but yeah, I probably should have kept it for evolving something next turn, but then again, I don't really have anything. I guess I can play Charlemagne, play Twofold Grace, and then buff something Twofold Grace, but this deck doesn't have evil point recovery, so keeping extra copies of Twofold Grace is not even like that bad just for the evil count. We're gonna play the Troya here just to draw, pick up an evil again. Then we can go ahead and use Charlemagne here. Charlemagne's ability to evolve off Free is like weirdly good in this deck. We are just trying to get evils. To explain why I didn't hit face with Day here, I wanted to keep the ambush because next time I wanted to try playing Roland into Wise, and then they would help me get the board to stick a little better, so that's what I'm doing. Of course, Wise is not super useful against Artifact since a Gil's effect is a leader effect, so there's not really that much fanfares you can block, but there are some very scary fanfares that you can potentially block with Wise, and it forces them to waste the turn trying to clear Wise as well, so since we see the option, we might as well try to go for it, right? There's the 2 Mystic Artifacts from them, and a Mechanical Rhino just for good measure. We're gonna go ahead and play the Roland here. Not that it really matters, but technically hitting the Rhino would have been a little bit better just to leave. Nah, it wouldn't have mattered. So we're gonna go ahead and trade. We can finally use the day here to draw a card. Of course, we're prioritizing trading over dealing phase damage with a day here just because we are a control deck and we want to make the Wise as healthy as possible. So there's the Holy Biker, another Holy Biker from them, so there are 3 Holy Bikers out. They got through Roland, so now they have to get through Wise. That card doesn't have a fanfare, so there's the Rhino. We luckily managed to block the Rhino's fanfare. We blocked this Rhino's fanfare as well, which is great. So although we didn't manage to stick the Wise, we did block like 3 damage as well as a bunch of Rhinos from being shuffled into your deck, which is nice. And then there's the Radiant Artifact from them just to hit my face probably. And pick up another Rhino, which they're just gonna play, and put even more Rhinos into their deck. And then just the analyzing for good measure, I guess. So that was a pretty good turn from them. We are pretty low here, but Artifact has a lot of trouble against Galder, assuming they don't have Dine or Retrafia, which I'm just praying they don't, honestly. There's nothing much else I can do. So, seems like they don't have Dine, very fortunate for me, so they're just gonna play a bunch of Rhinos. The Rhinos will all deal 1 damage, both on board and also to my face, so we can tank quite a bit here. Calder definitely putting in the work here. As long as they don't have Retrafia or Dine, Calder puts in a lot of work for you against Artifact. So they managed to take down the Calder here. Another Rhino. The Rhino will deal 1 damage to my face and then 1 damage when trading. They put down another Lazuli, which will recover them an evil points. And another Rhino comes out. And then I don't remember if they have another Rhino, and I think they do have, yeah, I think they might have another Rhino, or they don't. So these 2 managed to stick on board, which is great for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and trade off the Day Eye Trainee and recover some health and some evil points. Unfortunately, if you look at this here, my opponent is at 10 artifacts with different names, so Retrafia will just kill me, but like I don't really see a way where I can stop that, so I think I'd rather try to defend myself against Rhino Rush instead of defending myself against Retrafia, because with all the Rhinos and other artifacts to shuffle into their deck, my opinion, I think it's very likely that the chance of them having Retrafia is much lower than them having a bunch of Rhinos, so I just had to play around the Rhinos instead by going for Galder instead of trying to heal up beyond Retrafia's range, and look at that was the payoff. It paid off here because they are going for artifacts, so they won't be able to kill me this turn, I don't believe. So they just have to try and clear my board here. They managed to take down the Galder as well. But they still have 2 more followers to contend with, which they seem to be having trouble with. There's another Rhino. And they managed to put another Rhino. So they do take down the Amaterasu as well, but unfortunately for them, this card sticks on board. The Fervent Fist Fighter sticks on board, so we can go ahead and just finish them off with Alice. So yeah, that's it for this game, and it's probably shorter video this time, probably because it's still a day 1 deck I'm not super confident about. So that is it for the games I have today, just 2 games because they were both relatively long games, and also I don't want to spend too much time like going into like detail about this deck's gameplay, since it's definitely a very work in progress deck that I'm not super confident about yet. So I still want to work on the list before I make a more long form and in-depth video explaining the list and explaining the gameplay and stuff. So yeah, this is more like a day 1 list. You can try it if you want. I guarantee you it's a bad list though, so I wouldn't recommend it if you are trying to win or to climb. If you don't mind losing a bunch of games and just want to try playing some neutral sword, you can go ahead. Yeah, that's it for this video. See you next time. Bye bye.